Today we are going to talk about the three pillars that define how leaders are perceived. So before a person enters into a room, there a perception, precedes your entry. So how you are, perceived. So there are three pillars. Though we have talked about these pillars, I just wanted to re-emphasize because these are very critical and very important. So I'm bringing few of them again. So research has shown that executive presence breaks down into three distinct dimensions. And each of them, it sends a signal. So if we talk about that executive presence is 100%. So 67% communicates the gravitas, how you act. That's why it said that, the actions speak louder than the words. So 67% is taken by the gravitas. Communication, which is 28%, how you speak. And 5% is how you appear, how you look. But this 5%, though it may appear as only 5%, but the first thing people see is your appearance. And it makes a big difference. So this 5% sometimes, makes the scales to weigh this side or that side. So this is as important as the other two. Don't take it lightly. So gravitas, how you act, it is the core. So what it answers, can this person hold the line when everything is falling apart? Can this person maintain the calm? Can this person lead a room? Can this person, if there are multiple stakeholders, thousands of people, can this person as a CEO, CXO hold the complete team? And what is required? Grace under fire. What does it mean? Controlling the room's temperature. There are multiple times, when the incomes hit low, the revenues are not there, the working capital, the company is not able to generate. So these are the periods when the crises are there. So when a crisis hits, is the CXO able to project, though he may not be still and calm inside, but can he project that stillness? Can he appear to the people that yes, he can absorb that shock? And when the CEO is calm, then it becomes the organizational's calm. So, what are the characteristics if we look at? Speak slower when others speed up. Normal times you may be full of energy, bubbling, talking, loudly. But when a crisis hits, speak slower. Because others are in that mode, but you have to project that calm. Drop your vocal register. Means the pitch has to go down. But your volume may not go down. Pause before responding. We are talking about pause for quite some time. So when people attack you, hit you, ask so many questions, just pause and respond. Silence is the power. And your body language, it sets the emotional thermostat. So a low, measured vocal tone and deliberate physical posture instantly lowers organizational anxiety. Next thing what we talk about is all the CEOs have to take decisions with incomplete data. It may not be 100%. It will making the call at 60% of the information is all that you will ever have. So can you put your intuition? Can you nurture your intuition? The leadership difference isn't about having the perfect information. It's about having the courage to decide and own the outcome entirely. Decide. Don't, keep on lingering ki mere paas 60% information is there, so I'll wait. No. The information will never be 100. You have to take a call. The cost of delay often exceeds the cost of a wrong call. If you come to know 1 2 months, down the line that this was a wrong call, don't worry, go back, trash that decision. But taking a decision is the most significant of things. And own the decision. Never hedge publicly. Say, I decided. If you are taking a call, you are a CEO. You have to say, I decided it. Not we thought it or data suggested, or we took a group call, we all sat together, and the consensus was like this. Because once you are a CEO, you have to own that decision. Though you may have taken with the group, but the ownership rests with the CEO. Correct fast. If you are wrong, reverse with the same decisiveness. Speed of correction builds more trust than being right. Now we talk about the communication, how you speak. When you are, a C-suite person, it demands extreme conciseness. You can't just blabber things XYZ, XYZ. They do not have time for a 20-minute context setting or a preamble. This we have spoken earlier also. State the conclusion first, then the decision needed, and then the risk. This is the flow of communication. Just talking about the summary. So it's kind of, if you are a manager, what you will do? You will first create a context, you will talk about the background, you will present the data analysis, you will present the details, the options, and then you will come to a conclusion. But when you are a CXO, you start with a conclusion, the decision. Then you will talk about what are the steps required to make this decision. Then you will talk about what are the risks involved. Then you will talk about the supporting things like what is the HR, what is the infra requirement, what is the software requirement, what is the other things that are required to make this project work. So how do we strategically frame it for the same message, different audience? If you are talking to the board, then you will talk more about risk mitigation and fiduciary duty. So you will just talk with the conclusion that this move reduces our regulatory exposure by 35% and protects shareholder value through this quarter. Then if you are addressing to the VP tier, then what happens? You'll talk about the operational leverages. That consolidating these functions will give you 20% more bandwidth to focus on your core deliverables. So it will just, you're talking about the efficiencies, what you are able to create. If you are addressing in a town hall where your complete teams are there, as a CEO, your entire function is there, then you have to talk about vision. You have to talk about stability to the team. So here's what we are headed. If you want to bring in a new automation project, we'll talk about that. We are going to bring in this automation project and why it matters to you and what it means for your team, your organization for the next 6 months. Now coming to the appearance, which is your signal control. Appearance, when we talk about, it's not about the fashion or beauty. It's about intentional signal management, controlling what people notice. So, see what happens if somebody just, remember in meetings, if some people come across to you and what kind of clothing they are wearing, what kind of hairstyle do they have, so what kind of, different kinds of things are there. So if your visual vocabulary is about clothing, your grooming, your posture, your environment, all send signals before you speak. Choose what signals you want to, send. Sometimes, people in their creative field, if you see, then they will have a tattoo, they'll wear earrings. People, if people are in there, they want to show, that they are creative people. So they dress and they make their appearance accordingly. So the Zoom era changed everything. So your background matters, your lighting matters, your camera angle. If you the interview is on the, I would say Zoom call. So then everything matters. How you are sitting matters on the screen. How much you are on the screen. Are you appearing like you are just sitting in front of the screen, or you have taken a back seat? What's your background? Everything matters. Your outfit definitely matters. Treat your screen as your stage. Posture speaks louder than the wardrobe. Very important. If you are sitting like this, slouching, if I speak like this, teaching you, you will not even be able to understand what I am saying. So if you sit straight, you are speaking into the microphone, then people get engaged. They are with you. So it matters a lot. Expansive, grounded posture signals confidence. That video, you remember what we saw from that lady? One day I had shown one video. So the space you take, if you are sitting in front of a screen, the space you take matters. If you just become small, then it shows your lack of confidence. So are you able to command that space? The invisibility test. If people remember what you wore more than what you said, it means your appearance has failed. If nobody noticed, your appearance succeeded perfectly. So you are getting ready not to show off your appearance, but that the people should be focused on the message. But if you wear, lousy clothes, loose t-shirts in an interview, then the attention of the interviewer will be on your clothes. But if you are in a formal, the dress that is required to be worn, then the attention shifts and it comes on your speech and the context what you are speaking. So this I just brought in for the women in the house. Preeti is there. Yeah, good, good, good. So this I brought in specifically that Geeta and Preeti are also here. So how about, the women and the executive presence? So, so women leaders generally face a unique paradox that people would say you are too assertive, you are too aggressive, or too warm and lack authority. Research has shown, that women are judged more harshly on appearance and demeanor than their male counterparts. Firstly, we have to acknowledge this bias. It is the first step to navigating it strategically. And always remember appearance as an armor, not apology. So dress strategically, not apologetically. Your wardrobe is a tool. Choose the clothes that make you feel authoritative. A signature look eliminates daily decision fatigue and builds visual consistency. What's the goal? When you walk in, people see the leader before they see whether it's a man or a woman. So just, being more of a leader than anything else. So, voice and physical space. Women are often socialized to minimize physical space. So, if you look at, the men, when they sit, they will just take more space, spread their legs and sit like this. But women, when they sit, they generally cross their legs, they pull in their shoulders. The voice is also softer. So, to counter this deliberately, as we talked about grounding, that plant both feet and use the full chair. Take the backrest support. Keep your hands visible on the table and speak at a measured pace in your natural register. Taking up space is not arrogance, it's presence. And then talking about the warmth and the authority balance. Because what happens? Generally, people label women as either they are very aggressive or they'll say they are very warm. So you don't have to choose between being liked and being respected. The most effective women leaders project warmth through eye contact and genuine listening, while projecting authority through decisive language and physical stillness. Warmth opens doors and authority keeps you at the table. So it's not either this or that, it's both of them combined. So, executive presence is not a talent, it's a practice. 67% act with gravitas, 28% speak with precision, 5% look the part. The way you act, the way you speak, the way you show up defines how others experience your leadership every single day. Good. So that's it